Disclaimer.
Anya, what's wrong? Why are you crying? Don't lie, Anna. I'm your mother. You can talk to me about anything. Well, there's this boy I like in school, but he's always with this other girl.
A boy you like? So that's what you're up to now? Is this what we're sending you to school for?
Okay. I will be celibate forever. Sorry, Mom. I'll only focus on school and sleep.
And that's how you make your child scared of life.
Well, good evening, laddies, lasses, and lassos. Welcome to the click. This time around, some of you might be stuck home with your family and is getting frustrated. So today, we are going to look at some r/insane parents to get some of that frustration out of you. So sit back, relax, grab some snacks, and feel your ass grow. Enjoy. Grace, I said to my therapist a few days ago that
I feel weirdly calm with all this C-virus stuff. Everyone's panicking, and I'm not, so it's making me think I should.
And he replied, that's because you were raised in chaos, so you feel at home.
I freaking screamed!
The therapist is dropping the real balls. My overprotective Catholic mother just told me this lockdown is God's way of telling me I go out too much. Sorry everybody, this entire pandemic is my fault for not staying home. My bad. Can you imagine being so self-centered that you think the entire world revolves around your little household, and if your and if your kid stays out an hour extra?
Oh no, they brought the flood because of my kid.
Yeah, fam. Your kids might mean the world to you, and they should, but that doesn't mean they literally mean the world in the objective sense.
Perspective.
Animal shelter. This is Javier. He was surrendered today because his kid would not do his homework. Javier is a big friendly guy who's already... Aw, what? You're so sad. Who would do this? Why would you punish the dog for it? And why would you... Oh my god. You're just gonna make this kid incredibly scared of failure in the future if you overhype every little thing like this. They're gonna be scared to even try because they will subconsciously believe that the thing they can lose are so much greater than the task at hand. So they won't ever try. Grats. All jokes aside, let's pray for all those kids who are stuck home with no food, have abusive parents, friends and family, and their only safe place was school. Yeah, for all y'all, it will be over soon, and you will be a free person. It just takes time. But I can't imagine during this time that robberies and those kinds of crimes go down, but domestic abuse must skyrocket. Stay safe, y'all. Even at home can be a rough place for some people.
My mom, who joined a sex cult when she was my age. You're a... How dare you embarrass us like that? Me, who stayed out late night with some friends.
I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm going to have to cancel my art raffle because my parents destroyed my art tablet. It's been smashed into pieces because I didn't get up on time this morning. I can't do art now. One of the only things that I love. I can't even afford to replace it. I mean, as a parent, if your kid is starting to do a lot of other things instead of taking care of school or their life essentials, maybe put that stuff away. You know, take their phone away for a few hours until they're finished with their homework or something. I mean, sure, it can be reasonable. But this is such a permanent thing, and especially considering they can't afford a new one. I mean, oh my god. And it's also such a small thing. Didn't get up on time? What are they gonna miss? It's not like school is open anyway. Who cares? A kid makes a valid argument. Adults.
Is this disrespect?
My mom has put an onion in the corner of every room in the house because WhatsApp advice. This is the peak of the WhatsApp mother's cult. I am unable to candle them out. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's like that thing where they put potatoes like a necklace around some kid's neck. And because the potatoes went black, it's like, oh, it's sucking the bad out. It's like, no, it's just oxidating. It's rotting. Growing up, my parents always gave me shite for being sick in the morning. What's wrong with you? Are you on drugs? No, mother. That's what happens when you force a lactose-intolerant child to drink milk every day.
Oh, you're allergic to dogs, Timmy? Well, we just got you 5 dogs. So why are you always sick, you little S-word?
I'm at a Lego Robotics tournament for my oldest, and you've never seen this many depressed fathers in one place. We're all thinking, other kids play football. They have a play-by-play announcer. On my life, I'm not making that up. Hey, this is just like that time when my daughter attended art and writing competitions, and I made fun of her on Twitter because she didn't play sports. Except I didn't do that because I'm not a terrible parent. I'm proud of my kids' accomplishments. I, too, hate the idea of my children one day having valuable career skills. Right? Who wants that when they can have a double major in CTE? The world is full of people who succeed in life despite having a shitty father. Nobody is gonna hold your hand. when you die. Jesus Christ, they can hand him a football to hold!
Like, nobody came here to hold your hand, but here you can grab this ball. Say, oh, my only friend.
Help! I am 34 weeks pregnant. I have a 5-year-old son, stay-at-home mother. My fiancé works 6 days per week. This makes it extremely hard for me to leave the house. It's a pain being pregnant and having to get my son ready and in the car. So I usually leave him home behind my fiancé's back. No judgment, please. Well, today I got caught. Since I'm pregnant, I was craving the specific place in the mall. My son's lunch was in the oven, and figured by the time it was ready, I would be home, considering the mall isn't more than 15 minutes away. My son is potty trained and just plays video games on his iPad/watches TV. I get these messages from my fiancé 30 minutes after I leave. My question is, would you guys be mad if your significant other spoke to you this way? I feel degraded and belittled over nothing. A 5-year-old is perfectly capable of feeding himself for an hour. I am honestly about to pack my bags and never let my son see his father again. As well as when this baby's born, I would rather be single mother than be spoken to this way. Okay, let me guess, you're gonna break up over a BS reason and then sue for alimony. Because he's obviously not working 6 days a week already to, support you and your family. And you can't even be asked to bring your child in the car, which you also have the luxury of owning and driving around him with. Jesus Christ. Where the frick are you? I just got home. Why the frick is here all by himself? Are you crazy?
Okay, relax. I'm freaking 8 months pregnant. I went to get food at the mall food court. It's literally 15 minutes away. He's watching TV. I was hungry. You don't get it because you can't be pregnant. He's 5 years old and can walk and talk and shite on the toilet himself. Why do I need to be home? Why are you leaving work early? Sounds like you're the guilty one trying to start an argument out of nothing.
You left chicken nuggets in the oven with it on with our son home by himself. How do you not see that this is wrong?
You have literally no argument there. I left the oven on because the chicken nuggets were cooking and ran to the mall. Figured by the time I got back it would have been done cooking for him. You need to watch your flipping mouth and keep speaking to me this way, and me and your soon-to-be son will move back in with my mother. This is a mental abuse you coming at me.
No, he's generally concerned about you potentially burning the house down with your small child still inside. My God. How can you be this entitled? Ugh. And why didn't you just bring the kid with you? I mean, taking a 5-year-old shopping, you can just, have him tag along with you or leave him in the car for 10 minutes if it's not too hot outside. I mean, you can make it work, lady. It's not that difficult. Mom.
You are going to get us all infected with that stupid game. Stop playing with that infected kid, SOS Cross. I swear to God, if I hear you playing with him again, I'm going to break your game and leave you with nothing.
It has been discovered that some cases of COVID-19 in Russia are caused via video games, where the virus spreads through mics and headphones. This is probably one of those things that was, a meme or a troll online, and then some Facebook mom group saw it and like,
oh my God, it must be true, because my source is Facebook blogs.
Ah, I see. Vaccines don't work because the virus is spread through audio waves, which is why your mom keeps her ears shut to common logic.
I let my children smoke crack before I let them get vaccinated. At least I know what's in crack. Laugh if you want, I'm dead serious.
Screaming at your kid until they cry that they're faking throwing up to get out of school. Kids get sent to ER for emergency surgery for a ruptured appendix.
Yes, regret your decisions.
Who wants to bring me in smokes? You don't need smokes. You're pregnant.
I've slowed down. I was smoking a pack and a half and now I'm down to a pack. At least I'm not smoking meth anymore. Lol. That should count for something, right?
You smoke a pack of cigarettes a day while you're pregnant, and you see that as an improvement? My God. I've said this in previous episodes, but sometimes I seriously believe that we should have some kind of license to have kids, You have a license to drive, you have a license for all kinds of things, you have a license to own firearms, at least in most reasonable places. It's like it should be the same thing about a kid. My mama just said she's gonna withhold my antidepressants to teach me a lesson. Seems like a good response. Like,
Mama, I broke my leg. I won't take you to the doctor. Maybe then you'll learn not to jump around like that. Mom, I'm in serious pain. I think it's gonna get infected. Oh, yeah.
Mom.
Your freaking dog ran out again. I'm not looking for her anymore.
What? Why? What do you mean?
Just that.
Why won't you look?
If you want to find your freaking dog, you come look.
Okay, fine. Pick me up. I will look because you won't.
Every time I get close, she just runs. I will have dinner and then I'll go get you.
So you know where she is?
Not anymore.
If you stop looking, we could lose her completely.
That would be lucky.
Elementary art teachers. I had to talk to a parent today because a student was concerned that the color wheel worksheet that I signed looked too satanic. I was hoping the parent would see that it was benign, but after talking with their pastor, the parent confirmed that they did not feel comfortable having their child complete the image. I am all for respecting beliefs, but I was completely beside myself. Beliefs are one thing, but you know, a coloring book being satanic might be, pushing it a bit. If it was, in the shape of like a swastika or something, yeah, sure. Yeah, maybe you should raise your voice about that. But I mean, saying that anything that's like shaped as a star or something it's a bit far-fetched. Cease. My mom calling me lazy, then taking my computer and turning off the internet. Me, who now has 3 weeks worth of homework and now have to do it on my phone with limited data. You are not forced to love someone because they are a member of your family. Family isn't an excuse to be loved unconditionally. That is very true. That goes for any relationship, really. It should be a two-way street, especially once you start getting older. It kind of transfers over from being a child-parent to being a peer-to-peer relationship. And if both parties can't accept that, then it's not a solid or healthy relationship. You're never forced to stay with someone abusive just because of the way they might be related to you. That's not how the world works. My parents threw my clothes away while I was at work. I move out in 2 months.
And plan on doing your clothes at the laundromat. They're all big trash in the garbage. Better clean up that room or that shit will be next.
Why did you throw my clothes in the trash? When I was a kid, around 6 to 7 years old, my dad would sit down and help me with my homework. Every time I answered a question wrong, he would hit me open hand. I started crying, then my dad would hit me for crying and not being able to answer while he was screaming at me. Oh, seems like a very healthy way of learning. And part of the process of learning, this is something that I don't understand as some parents and teachers don't get. Part of learning is doing something wrong. That's essentially how you do. When I crammed tests for university in math and such, that was horrendous. Some nights I sat up and wondering what I was doing with my life. The best way of doing it was taking a problem, facing it face first, and then just doing it over and over again until you got it right, because that's how you actually understand it. That's how you get it like drilled into your bones. But that means doing it wrong like 5 or 10 times first. And if you're not allowed to do wrong, you will never learn, because you have to try and you have to take wrong steps to find the right way. It really is that simple, and that goes for most things in life. Of course, there's a limit how many mistakes you should do realistically until it becomes like a real burden, but generally speaking, you won't get everything right the first time, and that is not a realistic expectation, and hyping it up to this extent, you'll just make them scared of trying. Sir, please cease. You should never have had kids to start with.
So by now, I've spent all my daughter's college fund money on my monad business. Oh no! I feel guilty and it's been a rough start, but I know one day I'll climb to the top and my daughter will thank me later once monad makes me a millionaire. Stay positive, boss babes.
You're a freaking idiot. Oh god. If I'm not mistaken, this is like an MLM thing. Ugh. Here's the thing, fam. If you find a quote-unquote easy way to make it to be a millionaire, it's probably fake. Because if it was that easy, a bunch of people would already have jumped on it, exhaust that portion of the market, and then it's not possible to become a millionaire anymore. Here we go, lol. Hashtag Measles outbreak on hashtag CNN, hashtag fake, hashtag hysteria. The entire baby boom population alive today has had hashtag measles as kids. Bring back our hashtag childhood diseases. They keep you healthy and fight cancer. What does that have to do with cancer? Please say a prayer for the mom I mentioned in my previous rant. Her name is Nye, and she lost her son Nye today. Nye was only 14 years old and had his whole life ahead of him. A mother no longer has her child because someone refused to vaccinate their child. It is that simple. The young man who passed away had a liver transplant 4 years ago. Because of his transplant, he was on immunosuppressants, which weakened his immune system. He became ill last week and was also immediately intubated. The doctors then discovered he had measles. The measles! The measles had basically been eradicated until the anti-vaxxers decided not to vaccinate their kids. Nye had been vaccinated. This breaks my heart all over again. It was so unnecessary. A mother should never have to endure such pain, and all because another mother decided to say no to vaccinations. Senseless strategy. That's kind of my stance on smoking too. If you want to smoke all by yourself, go for it. But when you do it, when it starts affecting others, for example, if you smoke if you're pregnant, if you give people secondhand smoke, if your kids are stuck with you in the car, things like that, then you are a horrible person. If you let your choices ruin the lives of people around you, especially to this extent, you are a horrible person. There's no way around it. I have a valid reason for this. I'll explain.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. I am the parent. I always know best.
One thing of growing up, which is also So it's kind of freeing in one sense and also kind of scary. You realize that your parents are only human too. My narc dad is trying to play wounded cow again by telling my family members I cut him off to hide a pregnancy and marriage. So let me ask you a few questions. You're 23 and it's your life, so no need to lie to me. You're married now, aren't you? Question number 2 is, are you pregnant? I'm not married nor pregnant. Your dad is telling a different story. Okay, well, my dad is not a credible source and I cut contact with him last month. I would 100% let you know if either of those things occurred. Mom.
Last chance for you to look through your toys in the room. I'm throwing things out. This is week 2 of cleaning out.
I'm okay.
Seriously, wow. You can't come home and go through your own stuff? You coming up?
I told you before, I'm trying to stay in one place and avoid spreading germs unless it's absolutely necessary, and I feel like going to look through things that have been in the basement for 20 years can wait. I've been to grocery stores. I wore a mask, but I might have been exposed. We don't know. So I shouldn't leave unless I have to. This isn't me being lazy or not wanting to see you. It's me trying not to spread anything and get you too sick. You both have blood pressure issues and you have asthma, and is it responsible to risk it?
That's a good excuse. You aren't sick and you haven't been anywhere really. We went to BJ's shop and saved the diner yesterday. Funny how you can quarantine yourself at someone else's houses. It's just a matter of time for you to move there with all your crap. By the way, I've been up here a few times already.
It takes 2 weeks for symptoms to show, just so you know.
No kidding. I'm not an idiot.
My God, they're doing it for your sake. You're like closer to the risk group than they are, and they're showing you the courtesy like, hey, I won't really infect you. I mean, this is what most people should do, honestly, that care about their elders. And you're trying to twist it like, oh my God, they don't want to help clean out the crap in the garage, which most likely, as 99% can just be tossed out anyway, so yeah. My father, me just trying to explain my problems and how I feel.
Suck it up. Other people have problems.
Oh, you're feeling happy? Well, you're not allowed to. Other people have it better than you, so suck that happiness up.
I need help, please. My 14-year-old son is telling me that I cared about him, that I would get him his flu shot. He thinks the government is our friend and protector, that holistic medicine doctors have not been murdered, that there isn't gasoline and aborted embryo and heavy metals in vaccines. He thinks I'm crazy and an unloving, unknowledgeable mother. Can you please help me prove to him with up-to-date information to back my claims? Websites, articles, documentaries, anything.
So let me just recap what happened since my parents looked through my phone and found Twitter. They've made me cry. They've locked down my phone and my siblings' phone too. They basically confirmed my suspicions that they're homophobic. They made me break up with my GF. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. How controlling can you be over kids? You should always teach your kids to be safe online because it's relatively easy to trick young people online into different things. It can be scams, stealing information, or, just faking to be someone else. You name it. But this is not the way to do it, fam. And especially considering the homophobic part, that's just yeesh. I grew up tiptoeing, watching the shift of moods so I won't offend or bother. It's very hard for me to outwardly express pain or hard feelings because of this. I also never had space for my mental health to be coddled. I always had to push, keep going, do this, do that, get up. Sometimes I just needed a hug, not a lecture. My mother's response after asking her to remove my name from her credit card. I didn't know my name was on it and I don't use it. Mom.
Find someone else to harass.
Can you be an adult? Missing payment is hurting your score. Oh, it's like a credit thing. Your card is the only negative thing on my credit. Just take my name off when you get the chance. Thanks.
I am now blocking you.
The clock is ticking. If you're not home in 5 minutes, I will call the cops for your hit and run. It wasn't a hit and run. The cops won't care. I'm 18. You can't do anything. Watch me. You're the most untrustworthy person I've ever known in my life. Get your ass in 3 minutes.
Fellow mommies out there, strange question, but is anyone holding coronavirus parties? Like those chickenpox parties people would have so their kids would catch it and get it over with faster? I think that's a good way to handle this current virus with kids. Everyone is so scared and worried about, but it barely affects kids that we're seeing, so I honestly don't see the problem. Personally, I would much rather see my 5 and 3-year-old get it now and get it over with than hide away self-isolating. Kids should be out playing and have fun, not scared about this. I wasn't scared when I was a kid and had chickenpox because my parents told me everyone gets it. It's just a part of life. Yes, I felt a bit crummy for a week or so, but I lived, as kids will with this.
This isn't the same thing as chickenpox. The reason people weren't that concerned with their children getting it is because we're used to it, and we know how to cure it / have vaccines, etc. If by 19 don't have any current vaccines or medication for it, you should absolutely not invite other children around your kids during this pandemic. And how do you know your child can handle it? Not to sound horrible, but you sound extremely ignorant.
Well, why TF are you freaking out? I was asking a simple freaking question. In my opinion, the whole thing ain't that serious if you don't mind. I'll have my opinion and do whatever my kids because I'm their mother and know their health issues in and out. Thank you.
I doubt you're a doctor, lady. And the fact is that even if your kids make it, they might still infect others. The whole point of self-quarantine is to make sure that it doesn't spread fast enough. If we manage to slow the curve so people get healthy again as fast as new people get sick, then we're gonna be fine. But if it goes too fast, it becomes critical, hospitals can't take care of everybody, people die. That's the reason why we still in self-quarantine, otherwise things start collapsing. So it's not only about your spoiled snot goblins, it's about the entire population. So cease, lady, you're not as intelligent as you think. Getting more video from inside a Pepsi Center. Thought I was seeing empty seats for Post Malone in the middle of an outbreak. Turns out it's packed. So much for social distancing.
My daughters are there. I'm 3 blocks away. What do people think they're gonna do? Make out with strangers, then go volunteer at a nursing home tonight? They'll come back to our hotel, shower and fall asleep. They aren't at risk, and they certainly aren't spreading anything.
If you're meeting nearby, you're spreading it. I think the numbers that came out is that if you sit on the bus, you can basically get infected just airborne by like 3 seats ahead of you and 3 seats behind you. It's very contagious. Not to mention the fact that it can be alive up to several days on different surfaces. I think plastic and stuff up to 3 days. That is a lot of time to get infected. It's enough for you to share the same public transport or touch things. So, if someone breathes on you or sneezes in your vicinity, you can be screwed. And so they are very much at risk, and they're very much spreading it by going to places like this. You don't have to shove your tongue down people's throats to get sick.
Maybe I should open up to my parents about my anxiety. Maybe they can advise me how
You never had it hard like us!
never again. The best lesson of all truly helps.
Well, laddies, lasses, and lasses, that is it for this video. I sincerely do hope that you enjoyed it, and stay safe inside, alright? Stay home, stay safe, and take care of yourself. Other than that, I hope an amazing day, night time, or whatever time you live, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.